Good morning, boys and girls. I'm Eleanor Hawkins, and welcome to Telestory Time. You know, I'm always bringing along this book. Yes, I want you to know that this book is entitled Reading Can Be Fun. And I want you to know that this title is really true. Reading can be fun. And inside it tells us if you can read, you have the key that opens the door to the world of books. And then on over, it shows us sketches of very special friends that I have learned through reading books. Over here is Alice in Wonderland. And down here is Tom Sawyer and Huck Finn. And over here is Lassie. Yes, boys and girls, we want you to know that reading can be fun. And now, it's time for me to read to you this morning. And our very first story is the story of the Little Lost Puppy. Tommy Bell's white puppy with black paws and black ears was lost. Tommy looked everywhere for him, but could not find him. So he asked the 3 fat policemen who took care of his part of town to help him find the puppy. They hunted for more than an hour, but no one found that white puppy with black paws and black ears. So each policeman decided to hunt in a very special place. The first fat policeman went to look in the field across from the schoolhouse. There he heard a cheep, cheep, cheep. It was a soft, sad cheep. That bird couldn't be happy. There, far out on a branch, was a yellow canary with a black stripe on each wing. The bird looked lost and sounded very lonely. The first fat policeman took him gently in his hand. Now the second fat policeman went to look in the narrow lane behind the shops on Main Street. He heard a meow. It was a soft, sad meow. That cat couldn't be happy. And there behind a big rubbish can, there was a small orange kitten. The kitten looked lost and sounded very lonely. The second fat policeman took her gently in his arms. Now the third fat policeman went to look in the woods beyond the railroad tracks. There he heard nothing but the wind blowing through the trees. He saw so many animal footprints tracking back and forth, in and out, across muddy paths all the way into the fields beside cross old Mr. Dump's house. The 3 fat policemen met in the square in front of the town hall. "Look," said the first fat policeman, "I didn't find Tommy Bell's white puppy with the black paws and the black ears, but I found this yellow canary with a black stripe on each wing." "Look," said the second fat policeman, "I didn't find Tommy Bell's white puppy with the black paws and the black ears, but I found this small orange kitten." "Well, I didn't find Tommy Bell's white puppy with the black paws and the black ears either, but I found many animal footprints tracking back and forth in the woods and running all the way into the fields beside cross old Mr. Dump's house," said the third fat policeman. People gathered to find out what was the matter. "Look," cried a small red-headed boy, "there's Molly Green's yellow canary with the black stripe on each wing." "Look," cried a small blue-eyed girl, "there's the orange kitten Miss Prissy bought from the pet shop last week." The third fat policeman kept telling over and over in a loud voice about all the animal footprints he saw. Molly Green came up when she saw her yellow canary with the black stripe on each wing in the first policeman's hand. She hurried up to him and said, "Oh, thank you, Mr. Policeman, for finding my lost canary." He was chased by a kitten this morning. And now she took the yellow canary gently in her hands. Just then Miss Prissy came along the street. She saw the second fat policeman holding her small orange kitten, and she hurried up to him and said, "Oh, thank you, Mr. Policeman, for finding my lost kitten. She was chased by a puppy this morning," and she took the kitten gently in her hands. Just then Tommy Bell joined the crowd. The third fat policeman called out, "We can't find your puppy, Tommy. We found a yellow canary with a black stripe on each wing and a small orange kitten. And we saw lots of animal footprints tracking through the woods and across the fields, but we can't find your white puppy with the black paws and the black ears." Suddenly, there was a loud barking noise. Into the square came cross old Mr. Dump leading his big brown watchdog. The big brown watchdog was barking at the big market basket his master was carrying. What a time, muttered old cross Mr. Dump over and over. Just then he saw the three fat policemen. "Officers, officers," he called, "I am glad to find you. People in this town don't keep their pets at home. They run all over my fields, and my big brown watchdog chases them. Now this morning there was a whole string of them, chased by this," and Mr. Dump was so excited he sputtered over the words as he opened the market basket he was carrying, and out jumped a white puppy with black paws and black ears, and he ran right up to Tommy, wagging his stubby tail so hard it shook his whole body. Oh, the whole crowd cheered. Tommy found his puppy. Tommy has found his puppy. "Now you keep your canary in his cage from now on so the kitten can't chase him," said the first fat policeman to Molly Green. "Now you keep your kitten in your own yard so the puppy can't chase her," said the second fat policeman to Miss Prissy. "You train your puppy not to run away and chase other people's pets," said the third fat policeman to Tommy. "And you train your big brown watchdog not to chase every animal that runs in the woods and fields beside your house," said all three fat policemen to cross old Mr. Dump. "Oh, thank you, policeman, for helping me find my puppy," called Tommy, as he turned to run home, his white puppy with the black paws and black ears running along at his heels. And that, boys and girls, is the story of The Little Lost Puppy. And now stay tuned, and we'll be back in just a moment to show you books from the shelves of your public library. You know, boys and girls, fall is here. And that's the exact title of this book, Fall is Here. And boys and girls, inside, it has beautiful pictures of fall and what we can expect to see during fall and how we can enjoy this season. Yes, boys and girls, fall is here. Our next book is entitled Seasons, and I've marked the space right here that says fall. Fall comes, the days become shorter, leaves change colors. Some turn yellow and others turn red or brown. Yes, this is the book entitled Seasons. Our next book is a beautiful book. I had to bring it. I love beautiful colored leaves. And this book is entitled Autumn Leaves. Aren't they beautiful? And inside we have poetry and stories. And here is a beautiful picture of autumn leaves in the mountains. Yes, this is the book entitled Autumn Leaves. Our next book is entitled Shh, Listen Again, Sounds of the Seasons. And inside we have a place marked that starts the fall chapter. And here we have some beautiful leaves too. Yes, this is the book entitled Shh, Listen Again, Sounds of the Seasons. Our next book is entitled A Book of Seasons. And I've marked a space because this place says, the days begin to grow shorter and cooler. The leaves turn red and orange and gold. Put on your jacket and take a walk. The first day of fall is here. Yes, this is a fun book to read, and it's entitled The Book of Seasons. Our next book is entitled Out of Doors in Autumn. And boys and girls, this is a wonderful time to go out of doors. The temperatures are just right usually, and we can take walks and learn all about how our seeds are falling and how the leaves are turning and all about the beautiful sights that we can enjoy on a walk. Yes, out of doors in autumn. And our last book is entitled Autumn Leaves. And here we see the beautiful maple leaf, and here we see the ginkgo leaf that's the shape of a fan. And inside, boys and girls, this book has beautiful leaves that we can identify this time of year as they turn their coats to many colors. Yes, this is a fun book to read this time of year, Autumn Leaves. Boys and girls, any of these books can be checked out from any of the libraries in the Craven-Pamlico Carteret Regional Library System. Be sure and use your library card this next week and check out some very good books. And now stay tuned, and I'll be back with another story in just a moment. And now, boys and girls, get ready to listen to the story of Mrs. Gray Squirrel and Tiger Cat. "Brr," said Mrs. Gray Squirrel as she put her head out of the door of her house in the old oak tree. "Jack Frost was certainly here last night, and I suppose now he will be here every day. I must begin today and get my house cleaning done." She went into her house, called Mr. Gray Squirrel, told the three little squirrels it was high time for them to be up, and set about getting breakfast. Now, of course, everyone in the squirrel family minded Mrs. Squirrel, so it wasn't long before Mr. Squirrel was ready for breakfast, and the three little squirrels, with faces washed and fur smooth, were in their places at the table. "Now," said Mrs. Gray Squirrel when they had finished, "today I'm going to clean house. So you children go outdoors and don't dare bother me until dinner time. And you, Papa Squirrel, when you come home tonight, be sure to bring all the nuts you can carry. Winter will be here before we know it, and we want to be ready." Just as soon as the three little squirrels had helped put away the breakfast things, they ran out of the house to play in the trees, and Mrs. Squirrel went to work. Not 1 minute was wasted. Before noon, almost everything was in order, and Mrs. Squirrel sat down to rest a minute and catch her breath. Rap, 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 she suddenly heard. "Well, that must be someone coming to call," said Mrs. Squirrel to herself, "and I really haven't time to talk to anyone. I'm not going to answer the door." Rap, 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 she heard again quickly, and then another rap, rap, rap. "Now, who is that? I'll just peek." And very quietly she climbed up to the little hall window and looked out. And then she saw who was there. Mrs. Gray Squirrel was so frightened that she almost fell over backward. For there, right on her doorstep, was Mr. Tiger Cat, with his eyes big and cross-looking and his tail lashing back and forth. "Oh, well, what shall I do?" thought Mrs. Gray Squirrel. "He will come in here and eat me up and then wait for the three little squirrels. Oh, I'll have to hide." So she crept softly downstairs and slipped into the deepest closet under the summer coats that she had just put away. She was just in time, too, for old Mr. Tiger Cat, tired of waiting, pushed open the door and walked right in. "Aha, no one at home," said he. "Well, I'll just shut this door and lie down here. Then when the squirrel family comes in, oh, I'll have a fine dinner. Oh, I'm a smart cat, I am." Well, Mrs. Gray Squirrel could hear all that he said, and she peeked out from her hiding place and saw him by the door. "I can't fight old Tiger Cat," she thought, "for he's too big. I can't push him out the door, for he'd see me and catch me. And I haven't a thing to hit him with. Oh dear, what shall I do?" And then she thought of something. "I know what I'll do. I'll take Father Squirrel's gray summer coat. It's the only thing I haven't put away yet, and it's right here. I'll put it over old Tiger Cat's head." She took the soft gray coat down from the hook, opened the door without the least sound, and crept up in back of Tiger Cat. Before he could blink his yellow eyes, she threw the gray coat over his head and tied the arms together. Well, if you could have seen old Tiger Cat, he didn't know what had happened to him. He jumped up and he danced around and he meowed, but he couldn't get the little gray coat off. Now Mrs. Squirrel was hopping around too, and just as soon as she could get near the door, she opened it. And just as soon as old Tiger Cat was near the door, she gave him a good hard push. Down, down, down he went to the ground. "There," said Mrs. Squirrel happily, "he's gone, and my babies are safe." Old Tiger Cat struck the ground with a hard bump, but he didn't care about the bump. He was so glad to be down on earth again. The little gray coat had slipped off on the way down and caught on a branch of the tree, so he never knew just what had been over his eyes, and he never tried to find out, for old Tiger Cat stayed away from the old oak tree and the squirrel family house ever after that, and so they stayed safe and sound. And that, boys and girls, is the story of Mr. Old Tiger Cat and Mrs. Gray Squirrel. And now, stay tuned, and we'll be back with another story in just a moment. And now, boys and girls, I'm going to read you the story of The Three Bears Visit Goldilocks. One fine day, Mother Bear said to Father Bear, "Let's take Baby Bear to visit Goldilocks this afternoon." So after a quick lunch of honey cakes and porridge, the three bears set out for the little white cottage at the foot of the hill. Now, when they reached the cottage, no one was there, because Goldilocks and her mother and father had gone out for a walk. Father Bear knocked at the door. Knock, 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 in a big, loud knock. No one came. Mother Bear knocked at the door. Knock, knock, knock. in a middle-sized knock. No one came. Baby Bear knocked at the door. Knock, 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 in a wee little knock. And lo and behold, the door swung gently open. It was not locked. Now the three bears stared in surprise. Then Baby Bear poked his head in the door just to take a peek. Oh, look, Mother, Goldilocks has 3 chairs too. A big red leather chair, a middle-sized chair, and a wee red chair for Goldilocks. The 3 bears tiptoed about the living room, feeling the soft red chairs. But, you know, they did not sit in them. Baby Bear poked his head into the kitchen just to take a peek. Oh, Mother, Goldilocks has 3 bowls too, only they are all the same size, and 3 glasses, and 3 plates, only they are all the same size. The 3 bears walked carefully around the table, while Mother Bear tried to remember just how it was to set the table so that she could set her own table more properly. The 3 bears sniffed at the gingerbread cooling on the table and at the pudding, but they did not taste anything. They weren't very hungry right after lunch. Baby Bear poked his head into a big bedroom just to take a peek. Then he poked his head into a middle-sized bedroom, and then he poked his head into a little bedroom. Oh, Mother, Goldilocks has 3 beds too. A big bed with a high pillow, a middle-sized bed with a middle-sized pillow, and a wee little bed with a soft little pillow. And at these words, Baby Bear yawned and crept into the wee little bed with the soft pillow, and soon he was sound asleep. When Baby Bear woke up a short time later, he peeked into the big bedroom, and he was surprised to find Father Bear sound asleep in the big bed. Mother Bear was fast asleep in the middle-sized bed. Baby Bear slipped quietly away and went exploring. He crossed the hall to a door which opened onto a small room. Baby Bear did not know it was a bathroom. Baby Bear saw a big white tub, and he climbed in and sat there looking around. And as he started to climb out, he accidentally caught hold of the faucet, and cold water splashed out all over him. Baby Bear did not like that, and he scrambled out of the tub, and he twisted the faucet again, and the water stopped. And Baby Bear rolled himself up in the rug to get dry. After a while, Baby Bear crept out and went to investigate a round blue thing on the wash basin. It was a tube of toothpaste. And as he turned it around in his paw, he squeezed it too hard, and it all at once splat. A gob of toothpaste hit him right in the left eye. Baby Bear looked into the mirror. Oh my, what a funny sight he was. And just then his eye caught sight of something in a glass jar. It was a beautiful golden color, just the color of honey. Baby Bear took it down to taste it. He did not know it was shampoo. Oh, 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 he cried, and every time he opened his mouth to say, oh, a beautiful soap bubble floated out. Oh, it was wonderful. Just then a voice called, cuckoo, cuckoo. Baby Bear did not know that it was the cuckoo clock, and he felt that someone was laughing at him. In the living room, Baby Bear saw a large piece of furniture. He did not know that it was the TV set, and when he turned it on, it was strike one. It was a baseball game. He turned the buttons every which way. He did not know that that was a television set. He took one look at the man who screamed strike two, and Baby Bear tugged and tugged at Father Bear upstairs and woke him up. And then he pulled and tugged at Mother Bear and woke her up. And all 3 bears tiptoed to the living room. The man with the bat swung furiously and said, strike 3, and the 3 bears rushed out into the kitchen and hid under the table. At that very moment, Goldilocks returned with her father and mother. And as she went to the bathroom, she looked at the toothpaste and said, someone has been in our bathroom. And then she looked in the bedrooms and said, "Someone's been sleeping in our beds." And then she turned around when she heard a noise in the kitchen. And Goldilocks' father said, "Someone is hiding under our table. And I know who it is. It's Father Bear and Mother Bear and wee baby bear." And at the sound of his voice, the three bears scampered out from under the table and lunged through the open door. And they lumbered up the hill toward home. And they never stopped till they reached their own home in the woods. And Father Bear and Mother Bear never took Baby Bear to visit Goldilocks again. And so we close our book of stories this morning. We'll be back next Saturday morning. Till then, this is Eleanor Hawkins saying bye-bye for Telestory Time.